Yo, how's everybody doing today? It's your boy Airboy, and I am back with another FanBoyAaron review, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Bionicle 2001 Toa Mata. And I unfortunately do not have any of their original packaging, so I cannot take a look at that. Now, originally I was going to do these guys one at a time. I did have a solo review of Pohatu up for a little while, but I ended up deleting it, and I decided I would just review all of them all at once in one big review. I'm sure I should be able to fit them all in one video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some flaws that they all share, go over what I like that they all share, and then I'm going to take a close look at all of them individually and do some size comparisons. Okay, so some things I don't like about the set. They all have they all have multiple things in common. One thing I don't like is the lack of posability. They do not have elbow joints, knee joints, or posable necks. What you see is pretty much the most you can get out of them stance-wise. I mean, you can add parts or adjust certain parts to give them some posability, but as they are out of their containers, this is how they do. This is what you got to work with. Another thing they all have in common that I don't care for is the lack of armor. They don't have any. From what like looking at these guys, you can tell they're not like very sturdily, like very. They don't look that tough, is what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you read up on the story, seen all the comics or whatever, you know they're actually quite powerful, but as far as, like, appearance goes, they don't look the part. And, what's another thing I don't like? Another thing I don't like is that, well, out of the box, or out of their containers, they don't have any means to keep their gear function in place, so the arms will always stay down. But if you could take two little parts, that being this gear and a size 3 pin, and stick it in the back like that, you can keep the gear function from moving. That way you'll be able to pose the gimmick arm, however, you know, to an extent. And, what's another thing? I think that pretty much covers everything I don't like. Now, what are some things I do like? They all have very consistent color schemes. They each have a primary color with a secondary color, which complements each other very well. Despite the fact they all share the same parts, they do differ in their builds just a little bit. So in a way, they are all unique, at least to an extent. Another thing I like is the gear function gimmick. Despite the flaws, it is a fun little gimmick, and for the time, it was pretty big. I honestly enjoyed it. And you can use that gimmick for a game. If you have these guys or any other Bionicle sets that came out around the same time, the game with the gimmick was you would use solely the gear function to attack other Bionicle sets in an attempt to knock the mask off. And I always thought that was fun. I always had fun doing that. Another thing all these sets share that I also like is they didn't come with them, but you could buy mask packs, which allowed you to get all of their masks for the same figure. Like for example, hold on a second. I'll show you what I mean. Now again, you would have to buy separate separate packs of mask and parts in order to do this, but you could find and collect the same color of each different mask for a specific Toa. So if you wanted to, you could totally have Gali with Leewa's mask in her color, or have her with Pohatu's mask, and the same goes for all of them. They all have each other's mask in the same colors, which is very neat. Unfortunately, I do not have all of them. I don't know if I'll ever get all of them, but, you know, it's okay. I got the base sets. I should probably go over their names, by the way. I just realized I did not do that. From left to right, we have the mighty Toa of Stone, Pohatu. The agile Toa of Air, Leewa. The wise Toa of Earth, Onua. The powerful Toa of Ice, Kopaka. The noble Toa of Water, Gali. And the courageous Toa of Fire, Tahu. Now, I don't have their set numbers, unfortunately. I probably should have written them down before I did the review, but, you know, it's fine. I'll put their set numbers in the description. And I think I pretty much covered everything I like and dislike about the set. Oh, another thing I like is they all have their unique weapons that go along with their gear functions. That is a neat little nitbit there. Alright, now I'm going to take a look at them each individually. Set them all aside. We'll start with Pohatu. We'll get him here nice and close. I am going to switch the light on so we can get a better look. Everything. One little disclaimer about my particular Pohatu figure. Pohatu, the figure out of the box normally has a very wiggly neck, like it did not stay in place. I fixed that on mine, but, you know, that is still a common problem that a lot of people have to fix. Also, he did come with a rock, but not this color. The color rock he came with was brown originally, but I got this guy used from a big bin of parts. It's where I found most of these guys, really. And unfortunately, his original rock did not come with him. But I had this gray stand-in, so, you know, I think it works. It's not his original brown rock, but it works. We'll take a closer look here. Pohatu wears the Kanohi Kakama, the Mask of Speed, and he is the Toa of Stone. And most of the beings of stone in the Bionicle universe lived in the desert, so the brown and tan color scheme reflects that quite well. As you can see, he is the only member of the team whose main body is used upside down, because as the bearer of the Mask of Speed, his gimmick is in his leg. You turn the gear, and he kicks his leg. As you can see, he's got these little things on his feet, which are meant specifically for him to kick this rock. And that's a neat little gimmick. And again, if you don't want him to use a gimmick, just use this gear setup to lock it in place. And as far as posability, nothing at the neck, just the base of the shoulders, the hands, both on ball joints. And when it comes to Bionicle slits, pretty much everything is on ball joints. Legs are on the ball joint, feet are on a ball joint. I'll probably invest in some kind of part that would allow me to angle the heads at least, but as they are out of their containers, this is the best you're going to get. Alright, so there's Pohatu. Next we will take a look at Leewa, the Toa of Air. Now, I don't think they could think of a specific kind of region they could base the air beings in, so they just went with the jungle theme. But you know what? Air comes from plants, so it works. Leewa bears the Kanohi Miru, the Mask of Levitation, which allows him to float. And, you know, being the agile Toa of Air, he can also jump the highest, so his natural agility, combined with that mask power, makes him a nimble little ninja. Leewa's posability is a little awkward. For some reason, this arm is on a really loose pin. That's just the way it's always been. Brand new or really old, this arm's always been loose on a pin for some reason. I think it's because specifically to make it simulate he's swinging on vines or something, like if you choose to hang him up on something. But that's just a theory. Let's see. And, you know, same basic pose abilities. Pohatu, nothing at the neck, main shoulders, Unfortunately, due to the floppiness of this limb, there isn't a whole lot you're going to be able to do posability-wise with this arm. If you use the gear setup to lock the arm in place, you can at least get some posability out of this arm. Legs, ball joint, feet, ball joint, and that pretty much covers everything. Oh, Leewa's gimmick. He has an axe, so he can chop, 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 chop. Okay. That covers Leewa. Next we'll take a look at Anua, the Tahu of Earth. The beings of Earth in the Bionicle story all live underground in deep mountain caverns with the black rock in the dark caverns. So the black color scheme kind of works. As you can see, he's done in black and gray. He wears the Kanohi Pakari, the Mask of Strength, which I think is fitting for a being who wields the element of Earth. Like Pohatu, he does have a somewhat short build. Main difference is the torso is flipped the right side up like the rest of the team. Just the neck connection to the main body is a lot lower. And his gimmick is in both arms, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's one of only 2 members of the team who has the gimmick in both arms. And that is meant to simulate him using his claws digging, which is very fitting for a being who lives underground. I love how, character-wise, Onua is not only the strongest, but he's also meant to be the wisest member of the team. Very nice touch. Usually the strong members of the group are the dumbest. There we have Anua. Alright, next we'll take a look at Kopaka, the Tahu of Ice. His people live in the icy regions, high up in the mountains. So the white color scheme works beautifully for that. He wears the Kanohi... what was it called? The Akaku? I think it was the Kanohi Akaku, the Mask of X-ray vision, which also allowed him to see in infrared heat, I believe, so very handy for the cold regions he lives in. Same basic posability. Shoulders, legs, feet, nothing else. He has a shield on this arm. With all those little gaps in it, I imagine it's not that great or that handy. His gimmick is in his sword hand. Pretty much the same as Leewa's. You turn the gear, he swings his sword. I really need to look into some way to give him neck posability. Alright, next we have Gali, the Tahu of Water. Her people live near the beaches, rivers, and lakes. So the blue color scheme works very well. Most people usually associate the color blue with water, so, it works. She bears the Kanohi Cow, the Mask of Water Breathing, which is handy because she spends a lot of her time near the water. Her gear function, she swings her hooks. Now, if I remember correctly, she uses her hooks mainly for climbing the slippery rocks near her home. She's also the only member of the team who uses a transparent color for all of her mask. Well, her mask design specifically. Any cow mask, regardless of the color you find, this version of it, they're all transparent. last but not least, my favorite member of the team, Tahu. Toa Fire, lives in the volcanic regions. The red and orange color scheme works perfectly for that. He is the bearer of the Kanohi Hau, the Mask of Shielding. Very handy, considering all the fire and lava spewing everywhere. His gimmick, simple swing of the sword, but still works very well. He is the leader of the team, as I recall, and he is very short-tempered. Yeah, I'm going to switch him up here. I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him here. You know, actually, I'm going to put it. I'm trying to position them so you can see all of their faces at least. These poses would look just a little better if they had some kind of neck articulation, but you know, these were the first Bionicle sets released in stores, to my knowledge, so, you know, can't complain too much. Alright, I think that covers everything. For comparison, here they are next to a Lego Bionicle Rakshi. As you can see, Rakshi stands a little bit taller than the Toamata. I don't have too many of the older sets from the same time these guys came out, unfortunately. Here they are next to Toa Huki from 2006. Toa Inika, from the Toa Inika team. As you can see, he just towers over the Toamata. Here they are next to Axon, the Titan from 2006. One of my favorite Bionicle sets. And just because, here they are next to a self-mock I made. As you can see, my own creation is a little bigger than the official sets. There we go. I think that pretty much covers all of the Toamata. Now, as they stand, I'm going to stand up Kopaka up straight. Oop. They are about a little under 7 inches. About 5.5 for Onua and Pohatu, given their unique builds. And at the time they were released, they were going for about $10 each, I think. These days, I think you could find them for maybe 15 to 20 a piece on eBay, or $100 for the whole team if you're lucky. Now, do I think they are worth picking up? Yes, they are worth picking up. They are worth the price even to this day. They are amazing, amazing figures. And honestly, one of the best things, if not the best thing to come out of Lego ever. Like, Lego Bionicle is one of the most unique things to come out of toys for a very long time. And the fact that Lego has not given Bionicle the proper respect it's deserved in recent years just simply astounds me, because this line deserves a lot more respect than they've been giving it. Like, put me in charge of it. I guarantee you I can make it last another 10 years. Well, I think that pretty much does it for this review. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, leave a nice comment, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video when I take a look at their upgraded forms, the Toa Nuva. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.